What is up, YouTube? Ultimate Lock here. I'm going to be showing you guys what I've been doing the past couple weeks with this property renovation. I know I'm kind of a gaming channel. I don't really talk about doing property renovations because I really don't do them too much. This is only happening because of the fact that my family has a rental, and what ended up ultimately happening is that the renters went off and they didn't pay, and we had to go off and evict them. And then when we got back the house needed to be changed. Like, they did some property damage. It wasn't too extensive, but the house hadn't been renovated in like 15 years, so it was very, very old and was needing to be updated. And there was a lot of other things that it was just very, very, very bad. Very bad indeed. So I've been tackling a few things. The first thing we did was we did some painting. We made this look really, really nice, as you can see here. And we painted the ceilings and everything in the entire house. So it's really nice. We installed a brand new ceiling fan. Shout out to Lucas for being awesome and helping me with that. I don't think we've even painted in there yet, but that will get done sooner or later, or never, one of the two. And yeah, so as you can see, it's really dusty in here. And then I started this job about I want to say like a week ago, and it was it's painful, okay? So I got really sick, I think, when we first were doing this. When I ripped out the carpet, I ended up getting a massive ear infection. Probably on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain, it was like an 11. It was really, really, really bad. So for like literally 3 days, I was just laying in bed watching YouTube videos because I really couldn't do anything else. So I started watching this channel called Home Reno, and basically shows this guy who goes off and he does a lot of tiling jobs, he does a lot of remodeling, doing like basically kitchen cabinets, everything. Anything and everything you could think of. And I watched him do at least 10 baths and showers, going off, showing him from A to Z how to go off and do it. So I was pretty confident when I got into this, and I was thinking, okay, I know how to do this. I can get this done probably around like 4 or 5 days. The dude does it in literally 2 days. How much harder can it be? So we went off and we bought some concrete board. This is what concrete board is. You basically, essentially, you rip down the old concrete board or the old drywall that is holding the tile. You rip that completely off with the tile still attached, and then you just basically take that out, and then you should have your bare piping, and you should have your bare studs and stuff. Everything to hook it back into the drywall and everything, or I should hook back into the concrete board. So basically, it's a job of basically you take down a wall, and then you build it back up. It's really not that hard, and this is how thick concrete board is, right? So as you can see there, that's how thick it is, okay? Pretty simple concept. Once you actually understand how it works, it's really not that hard. And I know that there's an echo and everything. So I was like, okay, I got this. Look how small this is. This isn't really big. This is easy. This is doable. And I started bashing with my hammer, and I was like, wait a minute. Whoa. What? How thick is this? And it's about like an inch thick. This is not concrete board, right? This is a solid concrete wall. Okay? So essentially what they did was they put up a wire mesh right here, as you can see there. They put up a wire mesh and they filled this entire wall with inch thick concrete. So yeah. So it went from removing this wall to removing the tile that's on this wall. Okay? And I watched YouTube videos on how to do that. Okay? The YouTube videos that I was being shown was you take this little multi-tool right here, right? You take this sucker, and do I even have it powered on? No, I don't. But essentially, you take this over here. Just dropped my mask, that's awesome. And you go off and you pop off the tile like that. You just do that, and it shakes and vibrates and everything. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, this is the tool for the wood or something. No, this is the Bosch section tool for tile, wood, metal, whatever the heck you want it for. This is the one they specifically say is for tile, okay? None of that worked. That did not work in any way, shape, or form. It would get maybe like an inch into there, and then it would just not move anymore. So I was at a standstill because I obviously can't leave the shower like this. I literally made a giant hole, so I had to remove all the tile anyways. So I went off and I was like, okay, well, let me use the air hammer. And I came in here with the air hammer and it wasn't working either. And I was like, what the hell? So eventually it got to the point where I started using a hammer and chisel. And I can tell you, right? you will learn to appreciate you will learn to appreciate electric tools once you start hammering and chiseling a wall for 8 hours. This right here took me 8 hours to get clean, right? So getting all the tile off, 8 hours. Getting all the tile off in this one, 11 hours. Getting all the tile off in this one, I think it was about 6, and then I sanded it with the extra time I had. And then getting all the tiles on this one was, I want to say, like 8 hours again, right? This one I actually had my uncle come over and help with, and I already had these 3 walls done. He came over and he was like, oh, okay, this shouldn't be that hard and everything. I was like, yeah, it took me like 8 and 11 hours to do the other one, so you got this, right? He's like, oh, no, it shouldn't take that long. He started going at it, and he's just like, he got like 4 tiles off, and he just stops and was like, this is how you've been doing it? I'm like, yeah, this is. He's like, there's no faster method. What about my air hammer? I'm like, that's not working. And it turns out that his compressor went bad. That's the reason why the air hammer wasn't working. So I either had the choice of, once I had 3 walls done, to buy a $150 air compressor, or just continue the way I was doing it for another 8 hours. And I traded my hand's life for to save $150. So that's the fun part. So yeah, this is kind of just showing you all the craziness. Like you go and you think you know what you're doing, and then they just throw a massive curveball. I've never heard of a concrete shower until this right here, and I don't even understand how I'm going to replace this thing right here, right? Because the Reno guy, he always goes off and he puts in a new, basically a new setup for, a new shower head and a new turn knob. And in order to do that, you generally go off and you take this thing off, and then you disconnect the pipes and everything. But I don't think with the room we have here, there's even room to do that. So that's going to be a thing in itself. Also, I think it needs to be done anyways, because there's actually, it feels like a little bit of water leaking from here. It's like a drip, but it's still there. So that, I think, itself is a problem. Also, going off and looking at this, This is a story in itself. We went to Home Depot today, because this is what I literally just got done today, right? And as you can see here, there's water damage right here, and there's water damage right there. And that's because of the fact that somehow, some way, water is getting out, probably throughout like one of the cracks. Because actually, when I was taking out the tile over there, I found like a little black racer snake. I'm like, how the hell did you get behind the tile? So I grabbed him up and I put him outside, but that was something that was like pretty crazy. So I get to this part and I remove the tile that's here, and not only do they double layer it, it turns out that they just literally sat a giant piece of wood here, and it was rotted beyond belief. It looked like was it a train wheel or whatever the heck it is. My uncle called it something when I sent him a picture of it, but it was like really massively rotted. So I was like, okay, I don't know what to do from here. I guess I'm just going to pour concrete in here and build it up to the level that I need it. So I went to Home Depot and I asked the guys there, because they're sometimes pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. And the guy was like, oh, okay, yeah, you just go off and you take some concrete board, which I have, and you build a box out of it, and then you just go off and you put a marble top on top, and then you're done. You just tile over it. And I just want you to think about that for a second, right? So you build a frame out of concrete board, and then you don't fill it with concrete. I literally asked the guys, do you fill it with concrete? And he's like, no, you don't fill it with concrete. You just build the box, you put a marble top on top of it, and you're done. And that's supposed to work how? In what world did this guy live in? Like, you're literally talking to a person who was played probably enough League of Legends to have like a degree in like criminal science or something along those lines. Like I could have gone, if I probably took the time and I put in the League of Legends into like, I don't know, a college degree, I could probably have been a doctor by now. And I'm just thinking about like, this guy right here is telling me to build a completely hollow frame out of like inch thick concrete board, and that's supposed to hold 200 to 300 pounds if someone's stepping on this. I don't think so. So even if the person's not 300 pounds, right? If you build a frame with concrete board that's hollow, there's nothing solid in it, and you put weight on it, sooner or later that's going to collapse. So, no, that's not how you do that. I don't know how he could tell me that with a straight face, because for all he knows, I literally would take his advice and be like, yeah, let me go do that. And then within like 2 years, this right here could go off and crack, or it could collapse, and that would cause massive problems, especially if someone's literally getting out of the shower, they put their foot right here, and it just falls through. Your foot's going to get pretty ripped apart. That's not going to be good. So that's something I'm going to have to tackle tomorrow. And yeah, just basically the moral of the story is, whenever you're thinking about doing something, just know in some way, shape, or form you're going to get screwed over. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It's just got to get done. And right now, right after I get done with this video, I'm going to go off and sand this entire place. This should take me about like 3 hours to get done, and the end result will look something like this, where as you can see here, it's really nice and smooth. There's no mortar. And then from here, we just got to go off and put on the curtain membrane, and then we have to go and get ready for tiling. But obviously, before we get the tiling part, we need to patch this hole. We need to patch this hole, and we need to go off and build a base right here and figure out if we're going to go off and remove this piece of wood right here, because this is all water damaged on both sides. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment and subscribe. Sorry for kind of watching my semi-rant video, but I was just wanting to explain the craziness of what I've been having to do. And once this gets done, I'll probably be uploading a lot more frequently. I'll also try to do my eBay scam videos, which I have pretty much 2 eBay scam videos. I actually have a pretty funny video that I've been holding on to for a while. Same thing with the raccoon video. I have some like stuff that I haven't uploaded for over a year that I got the footage for, but I never got around to editing. So yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.